Hello friends, welcome back. In last session, we have discussed about loops, part of control flow. In this session, we are going to discuss about struct in Rust. There are few types of structs you can define. One is named struct, tuple struct, and unit struct. So let's jump into the code and discuss one by one. First one is name struct. So let's define a struct as user which contains certain variants, or you can say properties: username, email, sign in, count, and active. So this is our struct. So why we are using struct? What is the benefit of using struct? So a struct in Rust is a custom data type which allows you to group related values together under a single name. So there are four values now, and we have grouped them into the name of user, which is struct. How we can create object out of it? So let's define our main function fn main, and then let's define let user1 equals to user someone. So email we have defined, username someone, and is active true, and sign in count is 1. So let's define the email address correctly, @abc.com. So we have defined the user by defining the all properties of the user, and it will create a struct. Let's check the value of the struct. Print ln user1 email address is this. So let's run the program and check if we are able to print all the values. Cargo run and check. So we are able to, from the single object, we are able to print email address, username, sign in count, and active. Correct. So this is how you can define a named struct, and this is how you can make it useful. How to update a value in struct. So as we have already discussed in our variables and mutability lesson, that every variable you are creating is immutable by default. So in this case, if you want to change the value of email or username, then you must define it with mute keyword, right? So let's define user1 dot email from user1 @abc.com like this. And now print the user1 email address again after update. So let's run the program and check. So user1 email address after update is this. We are able to mutate it. If I will remove mute, what will happen? It is not going to work. Let's check. Cannot assign because it is not mutable, is not declared as mutable. So we need to declare it mute. Correct. What else we can do with the named struct? We can define one more variable from the previous variable. So what I am saying is, let define a second user, user2 and user, and let's find an email, user2 @abc.com, and then this. And now rather than defining these variables, what I am saying is you can borrow the variables from here. So let's copy this and place dot dot and then this. So what will happen? Email will be overwritten from the user1. Email will be considered from here, and other properties of users will come from the user1. So let's try to print user2 email address equals to user2 email address, username equals to user2 dot username, which should come from user1, which is someone, right? So let's try and see. So user2 email address is user2abc.com, but user2 username is coming from the user1 itself. So that is how you can define another variable, another object of the struct from the previous object. Correct. This is one. Third one is return struct from a function. So what you can do, let's define a function fn which will return build user, and then like this. This function will return a struct of the user. If you will pass the username and email address, then it will come from the function arguments, and these are the hard coded values. The important part to understand is this: you have to define the return type to the function to return the struct. Otherwise, it is not going to work. So let me build one user. Let user3 equals to build user from user3 at the rate abc.com, and then close it, and then second string user3, right? And then print email address, then print username, and these are the hard coded values. No need to print. If you will print, that's nice. It will not give any warning, otherwise it can give some warnings. Okay, user3 user email address is this, username is this. So what happens, that this function is able to return the struct object by passing email address and username. So these are the three ways you can create named struct. Let's move to next one, tuple instruct. So tuple instruct is something where you are not defining any variances, any properties, but you are defining the types. Okay, so what we can do, we can define a color. The first parameter is I32 type, second also I32, and third also I32. How you can use it? You can create a black color and you can define 000. If you want to access any value, then what you need to do is you need to pass the index. Let's print black color is this. So you need to use this object black, and then you need to pass the dot 0, dot 1, and dot 2 to print the value, right? Let's run the program and check. So black color is 000. The same way you can do let white color is this, and let's print white. Let's check it out. So you can create multiple objects and you can pass the values and you can access by using the index. So object dot index, and then you will be able to access the value. This is tuple struct. Now unit struct. So how you can define a unit struct? Struct unit, and then let unit equals to unit struct. So there is no implementation. So you need to do the implementation to use the unit struct. Correct. Implementation we will see later, but right now let's focus on the struct only. So remember this and we will discuss about. So key concept in structs are, structs follows Rust ownership and borrowing rules. Structs are immutable by default, but fields can be made mutable. So when you should use struct, number one, grouping related data like a user profile or configuration settings. Number two, modeling real world entities. Number three, encapsulating data with associated behavior. Okay, that is all about structs in Rust. Thank you very much. Subscribe to this channel and I will see you in the next video.